What is good, YouTube, and welcome back to a brand new video. We're once again back here with another off-season elimination rebuild, another team eliminated from round 2, that being the Denver Nuggets. While the Nuggets and Thunder was a very fun series, unfortunately Game 7 wasn't that great, and the Nuggets have been eliminated in Game 7, as we all know. So let's go ahead, jump in, and do this Denver Nuggets off-season elimination rebuild in NBA 2K25. Before we get into today's video, make sure you guys drop a like on this one, and subscribe if you're new to this channel. As always, greatly appreciated as we find ourselves on the road to 50,000 subs. Also, if you couldn't tell, maybe you can't even tell, but I did get a little sunburnt. I was out at the lake on Saturday. So yeah, if you can tell, there's some weird red marks on my face, specifically on my forehead right here. Yeah, that's why that's there. But regardless, that's all besides the point. So again, this team got defeated in Game 7 in somewhat embarrassing fashion. It wasn't a very good game. It was like okay to start things off, and then OKC started to get going, and then Denver lost or got down big, and it never really changed from there. Okay, so let's get to the head coaching position. My guess is they'll just extend David Adelman. That's my guess, if if I had to bet on it. So I think Adelman will probably be staying in Denver, so I'm gonna go ahead and extend him, and then we can head straight to the draft. I don't remember if the Nuggets have their pick this offseason or not, and they do not, so that makes sense. Now, the biggest question will be, is there going to be any big change to their core? Obviously, that core being their starting 5. Well, I mean, I guess you could basically talk about the guys in the big contracts. You know, Michael Porter, Aaron Gordon, Murray, and Jokic. Obviously, Jokic is safe, and I do think the one beside him, Aaron Gordon's more than likely safe as well. And then the other tier would be Jamal Murray and Michael Porter. I think there was, anybody you would trade, it'd probably be Michael Porter Jr. So I do think that's probably going to do this offseason, although I do think he fits well, obviously what they've done, what they're doing, and they've won a championship. They just got eliminated here, and they're an expensive team, and it's only going to get worse once you have to repay Christian Brown, and then who knows what's going to happen with Westbrook this offseason. Usually in 2K, he asks for like so much money, so it's always impossible to bring him back, and that's what I'm expecting today as well. So he declines it. We will accept Peyton Watson's offer, of course, and then Sarge, which he's not going to leave that money on the table. He does take it, which makes sense. There's a couple really bad contracts with like Dig Naji and Dario Saric, which do suck, and they hurt. Like, look at this, $34 million. Like, who on earth, as much respect I have for Russ and what he's done in Denver, they're not paying you that much money, and I can't get behind that either. So I do think the first thing we're going to do today, like I said, is trade Michael Porter, and I think the goal in this trade is to get deeper. So if we just do a 1 or 2 for 1, I'll try to make it the most realistic that I can, but we'll see what I can come up with. I'm going to use the trade finder first, and then we'll see if there's a different route we can take. But yeah, I think if we can get deeper, that'd be the best thing we can do. Specifically, getting ourselves a backup 5 that we can trust on the floor when Jokic is off of it. That would be nice, but let's go see what the trade finder may have in store for us if we just try to trade Porter that way. So up to this point, I have not been able to find a single thing that I would like to do for Porter, so he is going to stick around here for just a little bit more. We're going to wait again until after free agency, but there is a couple guys we could just sign in free agency. Like I said, they really shouldn't be here, but if they're going to be waived and we could take a chance of, take the flyer on them being here, then maybe we do that. So maybe we don't even worry about trading Porter, or so we just kind of keep things together and we get lucky by getting Champagnie and Jalen Williams. Obviously, with Russ asking for as much money as he is, there's just no shot we're going to be able to bring him back. So Champagnie and Jalen Williams instead, who probably shouldn't be in free agency anyway, but they are, and we got to take advantage of it because we don't have much money to spend, obviously, with us being a second apron team. So yeah, I did still ideally want to get under the second apron, which is why I was trying to trade Porter for depth, but just didn't really see anything that made sense. So we could still look at maybe potential backup point guard options on the last day of free agency, see if there's anything there. Other than that, we might be going into this season with kind of the same team, and we can kind of evaluate at the deadline if there's something different we can do, because I just didn't see anything. Dinwiddie, would he sign a minimum? No, not quite, but that would have been nice to grab. What else we got? So Dinwiddie was asked for $6 million. So there's Tyus Jones, which is another interesting one. Would he sign a minimum? I don't think so. Nope. We're going to keep going until we can get one. Who else? We got Monte Morris, former Nugget, so that one does make sense. Got Cameron Payne. Or AJ Mitchell, which is interesting, but I doubt he's not. Nah, he's definitely not. Okay, so we might have to go Cameron Payne. I don't usually get Cameron Payne that often, so Cameron Payne's going to be our backup point guard this season. So you have Jokic, Murray down. You have Porter down. You have Strother up, which is nice. Obviously, had a great game 6 for Denver. Signaji up to 76. Payne is down. And you got some guys obviously developing the background, and Deron Holmes will be actually healthy this year. He obviously got hurt last year, so before the season started, if I remember correctly. But let's go take a look at the lineup going to year one, although it didn't change much at all. But there's still definitely the possibility that I'm going to stop at the deadline to revisit the idea of trading Porter. I just didn't love any of the offers we were getting. None of them really made sense to do, in my opinion. But maybe there'll be something different awaiting us at the deadline. But let's go look at this lineup first. So Power Rank has us listed 11th overall, and your proficiency is a 4-star bounce. The one thing that sucks about Adelman is his offensive defense sucks right now as far as the stars are concerned. But Jamal Murray, Christian Brown, Porter, Gordon, Jokic. So same starting 5, obviously, with Jalen Williams, Strother, Champagnie, Peyton Watson. Honestly, I do think we still got a little bit deeper despite obviously not being able to make like any trades. The fact that Williams and Champagnie were out there just sitting there, I think that was nice to have gotten those guys, but obviously we can't bank on that continuing to go forward. So still going to look at the idea of trading Porter at the deadline, or somebody, maybe it's Murray, who knows. But I'm going to go ahead and celebrate this season. More than likely, I will see you guys at the trade deadline, and hopefully we'll find something that betters us for the future. So we are at the trade deadline, and I'm taking a little bit of a big risk right now by doing this because the team's actually doing really good right now. I'm not going to lie to you, but I still think saving money in the long run definitely is probably the thing we want to do. And we're going to try to make a swap here with the Brooklyn Nets. They're off me Nicholas Claxton. I told you guys that we obviously need a 5 to be able to trust on the floor when Jokic is off of it. And Claxton would definitely be a guy that can help us out, at least on the defensive end. And he's not going to be a deterrent when he's out there. So Michael Porter in a second is what they're asking for. A Porter for Claxton swap. They're on similar ages. So, you know, who knows where Brooklyn really goes. Are the Giannis rumors true? But the one thing I know is this saves us a bunch of money. And that's what we want, because we want to be able to have more avenues to get better. So this will save us a bunch of money by doing so. I love Michael Porter, but Claxton's makes a lot less money, and we finally get that backup 5 we've been looking for. So that's going to make the lineup different and more interesting now, but we're going to make it work. So we can move Peyton Watson or Strother or whoever to small forward, and they'll start going forward, at least for this season. I guess we need to put out there who's maybe shooting the best from 3 this year. So let's go take a look at the stats. That'd probably be the best thing we can do spacing wise. But yeah, unfortunately lose out on, or we move Porter. So who's shooting the best from 3? So Jalen Williams obviously, and then the Strother. So Champagnie shooting 30. I mean, they're pretty similar. I guess it really doesn't matter. I guess I'll throw Strother out there as the starting 3 this year for the rest of the season. So he'll take the Porter role. So he'll go up to an 80, which we'll take. And boom, you got Murray, Brown, Strother, Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Claxton, Jalen Williams, Peyton Watson, Champagnie, and that is your rotation for the rest of the season. I will miss Michael Porter, but again, that's going to be the best move for us in the long run, I think. So let's go ahead and see how we finish out. But Claxton backing up Jokic is going to be something we truly needed going forward, and now we can make moves off of that. So at the end of the season, Jokic gets back his MVP trophy, assuming Shea gets obviously the one that's about to happen, and then Igor's Rookie of the Year. Cooper Flag's your 6th man in San Antonio. So whatever reason, I guess the Mavericks. I couldn't remember who got him overall for a second, but I guess the Mavericks decided to pass on Flag. Giannis Defensive Player, Mobley Most Improved, and Jalen Brunson Clutch Player, Coach of the Year, and Executive of the Year. So all NBA first team. Obviously, Jokic makes it. Probably not gonna have anybody else on. Oh no, Murray actually makes it too. Shout out to Jamal Murray. All right, we love that. Finally getting some recognition. 28 points per game this year. So Jamal Murray is definitely making a case to stay going forward, but I guess it depends on how these playoffs go as well. Jokic makes all offensive team as well. And then what else we got? Nothing much more than that. All right. We are the 2nd seed in the West, and we did win 62 games despite even trading Michael Porter. So, 61, sorry. So we were really close to that 1st seed. And then Brooklyn did not make, or I guess they did make it in the playoffs. So now, obviously, Brooklyn has Michael Porter and Cam Johnson. So spacing, and Nas Reed. So the spacing is pretty good over there in Brooklyn right now around Igor. But let's go ahead and take a look at our playoff rotation. So we're going to go to 50 bench utilization or something like that. Strother has got obviously a new starting role, and then Aaron Gordon, Jokic, and I did extend him, by the way. So he's going to get $14 million a year flat for the next, after his other contract after this. So going to be on a pretty good contract. We're getting in front of the market, which is why we're doing it. So let's go ahead and take a look at who we're playing in round 1. It's going to be the Houston Rockets, who obviously might be making a big move this offseason as well, potentially. So they got Trey Mann as a starting point guard with Jalen Green, Brooks, Amen Şengün, Tari Eason, Jabari, Cam Whitmore, and Jock Landale. So somebody come around against Houston, and we will go up 3, or we beat them in 6. Okay, so we took care of them in 6 games, and now we get to play the Golden State Warriors. So Let's see if we could take down the Butler and, Curry Warriors. We have an even series so far. They're up 2-1. We even it up 3-2. Hopefully us. Nope. All right, so game 6. They want to put Strawther back in, which I'm totally fine by. So game 6. Let's go also to 8-man rotation. And maybe we even... oh, I guess Champagne's cold right now, so we'll leave him out. Okay. We just got to force a game 7. Then who knows? Maybe we can go back to Denver with our home court advantage with the altitude. We got to get this one here on the road, and we do have it right now, but it's going to overtime. We will hang on. 135-130, Jokic with a 42 triple-double, and then Jamal Murray at 33 as well. He played 50 minutes, so probably pretty tired, but game 7 for a conference finals appearance. So obviously this team just lost in game 7, or I want to say divisional, but the second round. Divisional is NFL. But 37, 13, and 12, so another triple-double. We win in game 7, and now we get to play the Dallas Mavericks, who I presume drafted Ace Bailey. They have John Collins. Yes, they did draft Ace Bailey. So Ace Bailey is a Dallas Maverick, and we'll just have to see how it goes. So game 1 goes to Dallas. Game 2 goes to them. Dallas is always like, it seems unstoppable in the first season, and then they like somewhat fall off after that. But I don't know. I can't remember what video it was, but they did give me issues multiple seasons in a video earlier, not too long ago. And that's going to remain the same here. So they're going to beat us. We lose by 2. But yeah, like I said, the Mavericks in season 1, man, they just seem so dominant regardless of who they have. So yeah, unfortunately, conference finals appearance falls short on our face. Not what you want to see, but what happened. So Stephen Curry does retire a Warrior. And one thing we can actually avoid today is Jokic, as you guys have seen before, always goes to the Warriors in the sim. Well, we're not going to let that happen today. He's definitely staying a Denver Nugget. Okay, so I doubt we have any pick this offseason as well, but all right, actually we do. We have 20th pick. And then Celtics get number 3 with Tatum out. So damn, that's pretty wild. But that actually might be the best for them, honestly, if it did go in that direction, which I don't know if it would. But let's keep Dave Adelman as the head coach. We just made it to the conference finals, and now it's time to figure out what's next for this roster after the Porter trade. So on draft night, we're going to go ahead and skip to the 28th selection, as we have Carter Knox and Alex, which I'm going to go ahead and take Carter Knox here out of Arkansas. So he'll be our pick here. So welcome to Denver, my friend. And then here is your options. So Pickett and Hunter Tyson. I'm going to decline both of them to save as much money as possible, and then we'll accept Deron Holmes. Hopefully he can maybe correct the rotation this year. And then, as you can see, we have actually quite a few free agents, but Jalen Williams we will not be bringing back. But Watson and Brown, obviously there is interest in both those guys, so we'll have to see what they're asking for. But Christian Brown's asked for $29 million. You guys kind of already know where we're going to about to head with this. Probably going to take him to the last day of free agency and see if we can get him on that day. And yeah, we'll just have to see if that works or not. So we'll bring Brown back, and then we got to figure out kind of what the rotation is going to look like. But obviously, Claxton's now our new backup 5, and then Champagne is going to be backup 3 or backup 4. We'll figure that out. Actually, probably move into the backup 3 because we clearly have... well, Watson's going to come back too, probably. So we'll leave him at the backup 4 for now, and him and Deron Holmes could fight over it. We do need a backup point guard, and I did see Jamal Shed out there, which is, again, I don't know why these guys keep getting waived, but they do. And Jacoby Walters here too. He averaged 8 points, 32% from 3. I got Bruce Brown. We could bring him back to Denver as well, but definitely think I'd rather go with somebody a little bit younger. So I'm going to go for Tyler Kolek here. We're just getting some steals, and then Jacoby Walter, we could get him too, but I think I'm just going to go Tyler Kolek for now. I want to kind of stop taking advantage of it in a way, but it's so hard not to when you have these teams that can barely do anything moves-wise because of the new CBA. But Kolek will be signed to be the backup point guard, new backup point guard that is. So I could maybe see him getting waived by the Knicks for some reason, although I'm not predicting it to happen. But Watson and Brown should both be able to be matched, which is why I'm not really paying attention to see if they're getting offers or not. But we will match anything. But we're going to day 12. We don't have to match anything. Okay, so I'm going to give Peyton Watson, and look at this. We can get him for a really nice deal. Less than $10 million a year would be a steal. So I do think if we can get him for that, that'd be nice. So I'm going to give him a 3-year deal around 9.36. And Brown, if we can get for less than 20, I think that'd be good too. So let's go flat. Maybe it's 20 on the dot. And it looks like he will accept that. So we'll take that. That'll be nice. I think that's about all we can really do. So yeah, that feels good. I think getting Brown and Watson for those kind of contracts, you'd feel good about. We bring them back. Williams also still comes back in his qualifying offer. Ron Holmes is up to 78. So he is actually ready to contribute this year. So I like that. Champagny is staying the same, and Kolek's up to 78. So I think Champagny might be on the outside looking in. But Aaron Gordon's down 1. Everyone else is developing or staying the same. Lovely either way. But all right, let's go look at this rotation going into next season. I also want to see what our financial situation is now. I'm hoping, well, I assume with giving out new contracts, we may still be over the second apron potentially, but obviously it goes up every year. So maybe there is a possibility that we're actually under it now, but I'd have to double check that. So we'll look at that in just a second. So Power Rank has listed 9th overall, and your proficiency is still 4-star. And obviously with Porter gone, Strawther has become the new starting small forward, which has been fine. We'll obviously go 9 rotation in the regular season. That does leave Kolick out. I guess we can go, well, actually, no, what we can do is put Kolick in over Champagny. That's what I want to do. So we'll have Kolick playing these backup minutes over Champagny since we have, obviously, well, Deron Holmes out of the rotation too, I just noticed. Because I want Deron Holmes to play this year too. So I'm going to go 10 deep, and then we're going to kick out Kolick. No, we'll kick out Champagny for Deron Holmes. That's what I want to do. So that's my ideal situation. But we do have a couple of other salaries, like Zeke Najee's salary, I do believe, is finally expiring. No, it's actually a player option next year too, but still not that much money, so it should still be somewhat easy to move if we wanted to move it. But what is our financial situation? Are we able to aggregate contracts? So I don't think so. I think we're still over that apron right now. 223 million. I think if you keep doing the math, it'd be pretty close, but I'm pretty sure you'd be over it. So I'm not going to aggregate salary at the deadline, even though I'd love to. But there probably is going to be the possibility of doing that. We have Michael Porter's trade exception to that. I don't know if that's playing effect. Is it? I don't need it, but I don't really know if there's a way for that. Might be playing into account too, which I think it is actually, but I could be wrong. But all right, I'm gonna go ahead and submit this season. If I stop at the deadline, I'll show you, but I have a feeling there's probably not gonna be any reason for me to, unless if I feel like I need a new starting small forward. But Strawther's still only making $4 million right now, so even trying to trade him wouldn't be easy anyway. So I will see you guys at the end of the season more than likely. And well, one other thing I want to do, I just noticed as well, is I want Jamal Murray to play, you know, still a ton of minutes, because he's not getting the minutes he deserves after the season he just had. So I want him playing similar minutes to Jokic, but we'll do that, and I'll see you guys at the end of the season. So Jokic wins MVP again, which is pretty interesting, and I'll show you why in just a second. But yeah, MVP goes to Jokic. Does Murray make another? Yeah, he does. He makes it again, man. So Jamal Murray's been really good, which obviously he's a great player, don't get me wrong, but I don't think I've ever really noticed him play this well in the 2K sim before. But pretty happy to see it nonetheless. And but like I said, I will just tell you that we went 41-41 this year, so it was a very disappointing season, I'll be honest with you. So I'm not really sure what to expect. Like, I think we're a good team, but the record doesn't really reflect that, so who really knows? But I think I'm going to go down to 9 rotation, obviously for the playoffs like I usually do, and we'll just see how it goes. But yeah, I mean, I think I'm going to put Kolick in over Champagny still, but we're just going to have to see how it goes, man, because it just was not a good regular season at all. So you play the Warriors, who obviously had Steph leave. So they have Durant now, and that's, I mean, they have Butler, who's regressed down to an 82 overall. So, I mean, Durant's still scary, don't me wrong, but we do lose to him. Wow, okay. Now we can play OKC, who obviously just eliminated them in Game 7. So, who knows? Can we beat them this time, or are we going to go home here? So, after going, 2K is very, I guess, bipolar to the Denver Nuggets. Don't get me wrong. I know I traded Michael Porter away, but the fact that we missed the playoffs entirely, to me, is kind of crazy when we get the MVP trophy to Jokic. But I'm just not surprised. The Nuggets are a weird sim team in 2K, I've noticed. They don't usually get the respect anyway. The Mavericks, I guess, are back on top of the world again, and Kyrie's your finals MVP. So, very interesting sim. I'm going to chalk that up to being just kind of fluky, though. I just don't really see how this team misses the playoffs when you have Murray playing as well as he's doing, and then obviously you have Jokic winning MVP still. Very weird, very weird. But our pick is going to the Thunder, so that's nice. So they got to play us to give us, you know, yeah, you know how motivated you'd be. You get to play the team to eliminate them to get their pick. That's crazy. All right, on draft night, I don't think we have a pick at all from anything. Maybe not. We probably don't even have a second. So nothing. Okay, let's go to player options. The one crazy part about this is Jokic a free agent this offseason. Zeke Naji actually declined the $7 million. I don't think he would ever decline that in real life, but whatever. Jokic, though, needs to be re-signed, and it's not a great thing that we just missed the playoffs. I'm going to decline Champagny, though, because I want to give this full role to Deron Holmes next season. Champagny can go, and then qualifying offer is nothing, and then for free agency, obviously Jokic needs to be re-signed, and Zeke Naji can kick rock. So we're just going to go ahead and get the Jokic thing done. I mean, there's no need to waste time on that. So we also don't want to bring any of these guys back here. So I want to kind of evaluate what the team's looking like now. So we don't have money to sign anybody that great. So it's going to probably have to come through trades now. So we got Murray, Tyler Kolek. You have Christian Brown, Crowder, Peyton Watson, Ron Holmes, Aaron Gordon, and Jokic and Claxton. I mean, it's pretty glaring that I think the 3 spot could use an upgrade. Whether it's trading Christian Brown's big contract for a 3 or whatever it may be. Because, Strother or Christian Brown, it looks like Strother, though, got a bigger role. Didn't play too well in that spot. I like Peyton Watson off the bench still for his energy. De'Ron Holmes is going to play a bigger role this year. But ideally, we find a way to upgrade the small forward spot. So I definitely think that's where we're headed with this. Because I want to get into year 3. I want to be a contender. I don't want to be missing the playoffs with Jokic. That's just very silly. So I think we have our target acquired. And I'm going to be going after Deni Avdija on the Portland Trailblazers, because I just don't really see any other player that makes less than 14 to 20 million that's worth going for that I think would make a big difference. And obviously, Deni Avdija is just on an incredible contract. We're going to have to probably give up quite a bit to make this happen, but I'm going to be willing to do so because if we get Avdija on this team, I think this team is back in the mix next year, and we have to hope we are, because Claxton's a 1-year deal, and then obviously if we're able to achieve bringing in Avdija, he's also on a 1-year deal. So 2028 and 2030 is the game plan, and we're going to go talk to the Portland Trailblazers, and we're going to see if we can snag Deni Avdija off them. If we move him to the 3, it'd probably go up in overall. It'd be a nice pairing with Aaron Gordon, Jokic, Brown, and then Murray. What do you say? And that was actually easier than it should have been. So Deni Avdija is now a Denver Nugget. So we'll move him to an 88 overall, and that's going to be the main addition I think we could make this offseason, and I'm happy to have made it. So Deni Avdija is now a Nugget, and I think that's the best thing we could have done. And then let's go ahead and also bring back Bruce Brown in the Nuggets as well on top of that. So that's our big all-in move, and we have to hope it pays off. So Deni needs to be that guy for us. You're replacing Michael Porter, not obviously the shooter that Porter is, but he does his own things nicely as well. So De'Ron Holmes up to an 80 overall, Watson up to an 80, Kolek 79, Knox up to 75, and then Bruce Brown is down. So maybe Carter Knox is able to crack the rotation this year. We'll see. But let's go look at this rotation going to year 3. Hopefully this team can get back up top because, like I said, Claxton and Avdija being free agents, they might get expensive, and it'd be really hard to keep this team together. Nikola Jokic wins MVP at the end of the season. Tyron Stokes, Rookie of the Year in Miami. Asa Noel, 6th-man Wemby Defensive Player. Brandon's Most Improved. And Shea's your Clutch Player. And Jason Kidd, Coach of the Year. And Hobson is your Executive. So, here's your NBA first team. Nikola Jokic, of course, has done nothing but win MVPs in the simulation so far today. And this time around, Jamal Murray does not find himself on an All-NBA third team. So, all-defense first team, Jokic makes it there too. And all-defensive second team, all-rookie first team, and all-rookie second team. So, here are your player stats as you had 28 from Nikola Jokic, 25 from Jamal Murray, 16 from Deni Avdija, 11 from Christian Brown, 11 from Aaron Gordon, 10 from Ron Holmes, 9 from Claxton, 7 from Watson, and 7 from Tyler Kolek. All right, so this is what the rotation was looking like, by the way, as well. So Kolek, the last man off the bench with Avdija at that 3 spot, obviously. But yeah, we're going to have to see how this is going to go. Obviously, we're hoping to get back to the finals, so we get to play the Oklahoma City Thunder, who have beat us in Game 7, and they just beat us in play-in last year. So hopefully this is the opportunity to get our revenge. So Game 1 goes to us, 149 and 126, 34, 31, 19, and 18. That's what we need. 19 off the bench from Ron Holmes will take every single game. The Thunder obviously don't have Chet Holmgren in him, and they have Kuzma now, which is, I mean, he shooted 36% in the playoffs so far for them, so that's good. They're up, or they do get 2-1 on us. Can we go up 3-1? Yes, we can. Can we beat them in 5? And can we beat them in 6? Yes, we can. So we're on to the second round to play the Spurs or the Los Angeles Lakers. And now we're going to play the Los Angeles Lakers of Luka Doncic, Mikal, and Chet Hart. Oh my gosh. How do they get the Thunder front court with this team? And Mikal Bridges? Pretty gnarly team they put around Luka Doncic. I ain't going to lie. Mikal Bridges on 35, Chet 40 million, Hartenstein 14 million. And then Bronny's now a contributor to this team as well. So here we go against the Los Angeles Lakers then. Sorry for the pauses. It's been such a damn rough weekend. I'm going to be honest with you guys. But we're still here. So game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Game 4, 3-1. So far looking good. Like I said, this Lakers roster looks pretty damn good. But we beat them in 5 games. And now we can play the Pelicans or the Timberwolves in the conference finals. So we get back to this point and it will be the New Orleans Pelicans. So For the Pelicans, they have Murray, VJ Edgecombe, who they drafted with, what pick was that? 7th overall. Herb Jones, Zion, Missy, Trey Murphy, Dash Daniels, Clint Capella, and Jordan Hawkins, and Brandon Boston. Game 1, goes to us, 140-117, so far looking good. Game 2, goes to us, 2-0, looking good so far. Do we punch our ticket back to the finals? No, the Pelicans are going to tie the series instead. So, we're going to lose here again. We shall see. But looks like we have a nice lead here in 3 to take it up 3-2. So that will be the case here. So that's looking good. 112-144. Love that. We beat them in 6. Let's simcast. I was about to click something through game, but I prefer to simcast to maybe see it go our way. But they do have a nice lead right now unless we crawl back in this slowly. But I think we're going to a game 7. So game 7, man, to get to the NBA Finals. Do we have it in us to get there? Let's go Amerization for the game. I hate it when I click Simcast Live on accident. Like, who the hell uses it? All right, so let's get out of Simcast Live, please. Or do I have to jump in and then we can Simcast it? I guess maybe I have to. I don't know. I don't know what's going to happen. So just get back in here. All right, let's try this again. Game 7 Simcast at home in Denver. Please take advantage of being home here with the altitude and all that. But they are right there with us. Are we going to eventually ever take it back from them? Oh my gosh, we're in overtime. It's a 1-point game with 3 seconds left. It's literally a 1-point game with 3 seconds left. We're going to have to foul immediately, aren't we? Or do we have the ball? They are going to be inbounding it. So we got to understand the assignment here. We got to foul immediately. Are they going to inbound this ball? Oh my gosh, foul, foul, foul. Murray shoots a 3. So that was a pretty brutal ending there. I was pretty speechless that we couldn't get the foul off there, and Murray just decided to hoist up a 3, and they go on to win the championship. So we're going to give this one more chance, though. Although, like I said, it's going to be kind of hard to keep this team together. We're going to do our best at doing so because we got super close once again and failed at that point. So Dave Adelman will stick as the head coach. Got 1 year left in his contract, so that seems fine to me. But as long as we can just kind of similarly run this roster back, that would be the main thing to hopefully do. Gordon and Carter Knox will be back, and then Ron Holmes and Kolek are going to have to come back with their qualifying offers. If they get offer sheets, we probably have to lose them for nothing. Claxton thankfully doesn't want that. Oh, whoa. Where'd we go from 19 to 32? What happened there? So said he only wanted 19, which if we can get him for less than 20, that feels good. So I guess having multiple years would be better for him. But I don't think he's going to take this. Decline that. All right. So he doesn't like that first offer. Denny Avdia is getting offers from the Mavericks. He doesn't like this offer very well. We're going to give him a 5-year deal anyway, just start things off. And then, like I said, Kolek and Deron Holmes are going to have to come back with their qualifying offer. Claxton is still not getting offers, so that's good. So, I mean, are we still going to be asking for the $32 million? Because that was kind of crazy. What about 21? No, we'll keep going. Still, does that change? What about 22-ish? 22-ish, maybe? 23? He'll take that then. So, Claxton would be brought back. And then we'll have Kolek and Deron Holmes back as well on their qualifying offers, assuming that's what happens. So we'll leave this to be ran back once again. And then Deron Holmes will be back, and so will Kolek. So no matter what, this upcoming season, this will be the last year regardless of what happens. So hopefully this team puts it all together. I believe we've made it to the conference finals twice in a row. I'm not going to lie. I've had to take big pauses in between the cuts in this video because of just a lot going on right now. Regardless, we're here, and now we're going to go the last season here. So if nothing else in this video as far as championships are concerned, Jokic has won every single MVP trophy possible. So this man probably has, what, 6 now to his name? Which is just kind of insane, obviously. But, yeah, that's what we get to take home as a prize, because there's a chance that 2K doesn't let us get a championship based off falling short twice so far. So here are your player stats. You had 26 from Jokic, 25 from Jamal Murray, 15 and 8 from Denny Avdia, 12 from Brown, 11 from Gordon, 10 from Deron Holmes, 9 from Claxton, 9 from Watson, and 8 from Tyler Kolek. So, without further ado, they want to put Deron Holmes in, which I just can't get behind. Aaron Gordon's got to start. Come on now. Let's not do some weird stuff like that. So, we get to play Utah in round 1. So, Utah at this point, they have, what? Keontae George, Dame Sarr, of course, AJ DeBanza, Luwak as well, backing up Kessler, and then they got some of the other pieces they've had, like Collier and Filipowski and Cody Williams. So, somebody come around against Utah. Battle of the altitudes. And we will go to a game 7 with them. It looked like we had a 3-1 lead, and it looked like it was going to be a-okay, but instead a game 7 is happening as we get to play a young Jazz team that is trying to get back in the game. We've had a lead for most of it, but I'm just waiting. I was about to say, I'm just waiting for them to take it and run with it, but they never did, thankfully. Dallas gets eliminated, and they were the first seed, so we get to hold home court in round 2 as well. We get McCoy, Trey Johnson, Whitmore, Amin Thompson, Şengün, Trey Mann, Ron Holland, and Michael Ruzic. So game 1 will go to us. Beat them by 2. 2-0, same thing. 3-0. We're going to sweep the Rockets? Okay, I'll take it. All right, now give me... I'd rather play the Warriors if I had to guess, because the Spurs, have Wembanyama, So we get to play Wemby, which I think this isn't... like I said, I've had to pause between the breaks, but I'm pretty sure the Spurs are the team that knocked us off in the conference finals earlier. I just realized we're starting Claxton next to Jokic. I didn't even realize. Well, I guess they decided to do that. I don't know what's going on. But regardless, game 1 goes to us, 124 to 109, 31 from Jamal Murray, 29 from Jokic. Game 2, they even it up. Game 3, 2-1. Are we about to lose in the conference finals for 3? I think it's 3 times. I know it's twice for sure, but I think in the first season we lost the conference finals too, if I remember correctly. But we are in trouble if we go down to this point. So yeah, we're down 3-1. So it might be 3 conference finals appearances in a row, or not. It's not in a row, obviously, but we are not going to win a championship today, unfortunately, for this video. So that is all she wrote. So we try to get Jokic a championship or another one, but what we did give him is like 7 MVP trophies. So it is what it is. Let's see who goes on and win the whole thing. Our best chance was probably last year to beat the Pelicans, and we fell short in the worst way imaginable, and the Spurs go on and win it all. So that'll be it for me, guys. I hope y'all did enjoy it, and I will see y'all in the next one. This is Crushables. I'm saying peace.
Thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you click here to watch another video that I know you'll love.